Welcome students to the second part of writing of the scientific research paper. So third step is the write up the results. So it is all about presenting your results, presenting your research investigations, and in this only the representative results from your research should be presented. And if data are too abundant, then you can use that data as a supplementary material. You need not to include all the data into the text. You can use it as supplementary material at the end of your research paper. Then you can divide your results into the subheadings, and these subsections, you can number these subsections, and these are used for the internal cross references. Okay, and an important issue is that you must not include references in this section. Most of the time, the researchers or the students, they include references or the work of the other authors into their result part. This is actually exclusively for the discussion part. So don't include references into your result part. Yes, if you want to compare your results with the work of the others, then only you can include certain references, but that is also in the discussion part. Now, the step 4 is the write the discussion, because it seems to be the easiest section, but this is the hardest section to get right, because it is the most important section of your article. This is the critical part of your research paper discussion. So here you get the chance to sell your data. Like, this is how you are presenting your work by comparing it with the work of the other authors. This actually increases the value or the weightage of your research paper. So take into account that a huge number of manuscripts, they are rejected because their discussion was weak. So you need to entirely focus on the discussion part. Then you need to, as I said, can compare your published results with the work of the other researchers. Then you need to consider certain points while writing this discussion part. Like, you avoid the statements that go beyond what the results can support. Like, never give certain kind of statements which your results or the investigations cannot support. Like, you can't use your results as a proof to justify your statements. Then you need to avoid unspecific expressions like higher temperature, at a lower rate, highly significant. Quantitative descriptions are always preferred. Like, you can write it like this: 35 degrees Celsius at 5% level, a probability 0.001. Like, you can use such kind of quantitative descriptions rather than using these unspecific expressions I have mentioned over here. Then avoid sudden introduction of new terms or the ideas into the discussion part. Then some, the speculations or the possible interpretations. You need to achieve the good interpretations. You need to think about these following questions. How do these results relate to the objective outlined in the introduction section? You need to think about that part. What you have mentioned as an objective in the introduction, that must be correlated with your discussion part. Do the data support your hypothesis? What is your problem of statement? Does this data is supporting that problem of statement? And are your results consistent with what others investigators have reported? Okay, and discuss the weakness and the discrepancies, if any. If you find like certain kind of discrepancies are there, then try to explain. If your results are different, then try to explain why your results are different. So you need to consider all these points, and you need to support your results with the help of providing a valid data or providing a valid proof. Now, the step 5 is write a clear conclusion. Most of the time the people, what they do, they just copy paste the abstract into the conclusion part. Conclusion is entirely different from the abstract. You should provide a clear scientific justification for your work in this section and indicate uses and extensions if appropriate. Moreover, you can suggest future experiments or the future recommendations what can be further investigated, and point out those that are underway in the conclusion part. So conclusion is entirely different from the abstract. Now, here comes the step 6, that is writing about the introduction. This is most of the students what they write in the first. No, you need to write about the introduction at the step 6. So this is your opportunity to convince the readers that you clearly know what your work is about. So a good introduction should answer the following question: what is the problem to be solved? Is there any existing solution? Which is the best? Which is its main limitation? and what you are hoping to achieve. So introductory part must include all these questions to be answered. Now here comes the most important part. Again, I said in the beginning, people sometimes they start writing their scientific findings with the abstract or some with the introduction, but this comes at number 7. So now we will write the abstract, and basically abstract tells the readers what you did and what the important findings in your research are. So together with the title, it's the advertisement of your article. By merely writing the abstract, you can generate the curiosity among the readers, like this is worth reading, and they can use this piece of work in citing for their own research publication. So make it very interesting and avoid using jargon, uncommon abbreviations and the references. So the abstract provides a short description of the perspective and the purpose of your paper, and it gives the key results but minimizing the experimental details. So basically abstract is the summary of your work. Now step 8 is the compose a concise and descriptive title. See, when you want to formulate a title for your scientific research paper, so it comes at the step 8. So title must explain what the paper is broadly about, and it is your first opportunity to attract the reader's attention. And mostly when you send paper for the publications, remember that first readers are the editors and the potential referees or the reviewers, and these readers are the authors who can use your article. Like if you have given a very good piece of research, they can use this article in their for their own reference or in their own research publication. So your title must be very powerful. Now I have cited few examples. Like original title was like this: preliminary observation on the effect of salinity on benthic community distribution within an estuarine system in the North Sea. Now the revised title, you see, effect of salinity on the benthic distribution within the Scheldt estuary North Sea. So what you see in these two, original title and the revised title, because long title distract readers. So remove all such kind of things like studies on, the nature of, and never use expressions such as preliminary. So you need to be precise. So you need to be very, you need to give a very concise and composed and very informative title for your scientific research paper. I have cited one other example also. You can see, like sometimes people, they simply write one line, like I have mentioned original title, action of antibiotics on the bacteria, and here is the revised title, and this is the best one: inhibition of growth of Mycobacterium tuberculosis by the streptomycin. You see, so title should be specific. So think about how will I search for this piece of information when you design the title. If I want to search your article, and if I will simply write action of antibiotics on the bacteria, I can get a number of, a lot of material related with the field. So I need to be specific also. So you need to design your title in the same way. Now step 9 is the select the keywords for the index. Keywords basically they are used for the indexing your paper. They are the label of your manuscript. Some of the research journals, they are not using keywords nowadays, but anyway, when you are looking for the keywords, avoid the words which you have already used or included in your title. So don't repeat those words. Step 10, write the acknowledgements. Like here you can thank the people who have contributed to the your manuscript. Like you can thank the technical staff or any laboratory, or you can thank the funding agency or the agency which has given you some kind of grant and fellowship to carry out your research activity. So in the acknowledgement part, you can acknowledge all these people. Then step 11, write up the references. So here we come at the last section, like how to write the references. Again, as I said in my thesis writing, what you have mentioned in the body of the text, what you have cited in the body of the text, all those citations must be added at the end of this research paper in the form of references. Okay, and what we have mentioned in the references, those must be included in the body of the text. So make the reference list and the in-text citation conform strictly to the style given in the guide for the authors. Every journal is having a different kind of, the guidelines how to present their references, like alphabetically, or you need to give numbers while writing your body of text. So that depends upon the authors or the journal guidelines. And you can also, nowadays the technology is very much advanced, and we are having a number of softwares like EndNote, Mendeley is there to format, and you can, with the help of this software, just with a one click, you can arrange your references. Okay, so finally, dear students, you need to check the following. When your paper is complete, then you need to arrange as per the content of the paper. Like again, I am repeating: abstract, then keywords, then introduction, then methods, then results, then discussion, then conclusion, then acknowledgement, then references. But before sending it, you need to check spelling of the author's name, year of the publication, use of ATL, like when there are more than 2 or 3, when more than 2 authors are there, then we use this word ATL. Okay, then punctuation, and whether all the references are included or not. So thank you very much. Hope you have got what I am trying to convey.